didn't have the music set up here. We don't have anybody else out here. We just have our producer Gage recording. But everybody, welcome to the 2023 Griff's Fantasy League Awards Show, Punishment and Wheel Spin. I'm your host, Kamish, up here. Like I said, producer Gage back there. We got guys grinding all over the place in this house.
Well, one guy upstairs.
Welcome, everybody watching the video. Let's start it off. I know this is why the number one reason people are here. It's the wheel spin. Now, this will come later in the show. Don't worry, we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. But we can just walk through here what we're looking at this year. I put out the poll to kind of show you the options that we have. There was a little bit of a change. We overhauled a little bit of what we were doing with the wheel. First one, new one. Michael Elwood would have to come up and caddy, or go down somewhere, caddy for the league winner. We do have a lot of golfers in the league. Now, we do have some non-golfers, which, to be fair, that might even be funnier if we had Elwood caddying for Ginther, because I'm not sure if Ginther even has golfed before or really knows what he's doing. So that is one of the options. Calendar shoot. We've had that on last year. Full calendar shoot, full year that would be shown sent to all the league members. I need 12 months, different pictures, whatever. I think that would be a really good one for show your creative side. Flight. Now that's one we're talking, you gotta go fly to have lunch somewhere to a to-be-determined location, go eat lunch, fly back same day. Now some would say, like the producer, that's a great gig. He's like, you might actually just do that for fun. You might not even have to come in last to be able to do that. Others would say, that's a lot of money I gotta spend out of pocket. And I would say, don't come in last and we don't have to worry about it. The other one, McDonald's. I mean, you can see it. It's from a blue marker in here. It's still on there. It was such a pain to erase these. There was absolutely no chance I was going to rewrite something that was already on there. Going to have to go open to close in McDonald's. McGriddles count. McDoubles count. Every McGriddle or McDouble that you eat is an hour less that you got to stay there. I think it's, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., 6 a.m. to midnight, something like that. That's what we're looking at. There's not really any more 24 hours. And then, no punishment. It's gone. We have 2 league choice. So there will be a punishment delivered. There's no chance there will be no punishment. Gage, you got any comments in the chat?
Some people are talking about that you need a caddy. Some comments about illiterates on the green.
Correct. Those are facts.
Denver is where Elwood wants to go.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if he gets the flight, that's the thing. You want to just go take somewhere. That's fine with us. I mean, do I think it would make sense if he flew up to Buffalo? Yeah, that would make more sense. But you know what? I'm not going to tell you where to go. It's going to be up to you. But before we get to the wheel spin, we're going to have to go over the year that was in the Griffs League. I know I put up stories posting the entire standings throughout the year, and I just realized today I hid them from about 70 of you on accident. So there, if you want to see, there's a highlight of them where you can see week by week what happened. But if you want to just figure out where we're at now, this is where we're at. The number 1 seed, I know for people who probably were hidden from the stories that didn't see, you see Chris Conley, you go, is that a mistake? No, Chris did actually come in first, finished 2 games ahead of everybody else, or even the next closest team. He was power ranked by Woody, 14th out of 14. People here, 132, he said in the write-ups there were audible gasps at picks. I mean, they were talking, the average age of his team was 165 years old, but somehow they were able to stick together. And they're in first. He gets a bye. He doesn't have to worry about it this week. I told him maybe you have to just bench your whole team, make sure no one gets hurt. So Chris is the 1 seed. 2, Adam. He went head-to-head against Chris this past week to try to win first place. Adam did not have a great week. Justin Herbert is quarterback. Done for the year. Tyreek, banged up. Actually maybe banged up instead of fake banged up. He's playing me. I'll be honest. I don't know if you want to be Gage this week in the house. There may not be a whole lot of words said between us. You know, he's going to be working on the waiver wire, getting a new QB. We're going to figure out what's going on. I don't know what I'm doing at QB yet. It might get ugly in here. 3, Sip. He's been in the playoffs every year but 1. There he is at the 3 seed. Playing Brandon, who's been good the last few years, and his team is kind of going. The projections here, I think, are 133 to 131. So we're talking big numbers in that matchup, potentially. Teams that can kind of get hot. Then Gage and Ginther. You know, it says Gage, could be Coles mixed in there, Ginther, whatever magical GM he has that's in the background. I still don't know. The man drafted from Italy and somehow ended up a good team, didn't make any trades, was fine, whatever. So that's what we're looking at the playoffs. You know, you see the teams that have missed it, Woody, like always, Tim, reigning champ, missed, which was just he clearly wasn't going to care, and I know he's going to say, well, I have a belt. You're right, you do. We will, speaking of which, though, we'll go through. Tim had said before that he was the best owner in the history of the league. That's what he said here 100 times, and he was just completely factual.
Tim is on. Tim is engaged.
That's shocking that Tim is actually on here, but respect. These are the all-time records. Our stats department has compiled all of these from throughout the years. We have past owners. We see a really good record and a really tough record. But we see at the top, Gage is at the top. Now, he only has 3-year sample size, so we will see how it plays. And, I mean, realistically, we could go back down to the Cole 24 and 15 and kind of see what it is. And realistically, I actually had a conversation with Brand today. I said, what about next year maybe we merge them? And then we said, you don't deserve to have a championship next to your name. So that's really it. You have to actually earn a championship before you get to be able to put the little trophy thing.
He's talking to me just so that the group knows.
Correct. That is to Gage. That is not to the overall audience. Adam, 85
but
and
numero
50.
uno.
Adam, 85 and 50. 7 playoff appearances. Sip, 4 games behind him, has 7, same amount of playoff appearances, but has a championship. Brandon and me, 1 game apart, more playoff appearances, just a little more consistency out of me. Tim, the greatest owner in the history of fantasy football, has a worse record than me all time. But again, don't worry about it because he won 1 more game. He won his championship, or I lost in the championship. So basically, anything that's ever happened beyond that, and he through the first year, we'll just make up stuff, make up stats because that's kind of how Tim rolls. Ginth, Chris, literally the same record. I don't know if I would have guessed that because everybody kind of just knows Ginth magic's there. Joe, he said after 2019, 2018, I don't even remember what year it was. Screenshot statement. He wanted you to screenshot it. He will never miss the playoffs. He's missed the playoffs 4 years in a row. And I couldn't have backfired anymore. I mean, to be fair, he does have a ring, but 2016 is a long time ago. And he is struggling in the league. I mean, he was, you guys didn't see it because I hit it on accident in front of a bunch of people, but he was 1-11, I think, to start the year. Now, he had a good
fight, though.
Good fight. He ended up 9-19, I believe, to end the year. I mean, it's a pretty good run. It's an 8-8 run, you know. So the thing is, then you look at Casper Steckel. You see these like group of rings, Casper Steckel here, and you go, how did that happen? I still haven't figured that out yet. You know, we're a couple years removed from 2020, 2021. Maybe COVID year or something.
Yeah, COVID was...
I think we could just chalk those up to Mickey Mouse rings. I think that's where we're at. Based on the overall standings, these are the Mickey Mouse chips over here. Because we have seen nothing from these guys to indicate that there's going to be long-term success. Woody still hasn't figured out that real football is not the same as fantasy football. Garrick was locked in this year, barely avoided last. Elwood, horrendous year. Had 5 wins. And realistically, he started 3-21, finished, 3-1, he finished 5-23. So he went 2-21 the last, 11 weeks. That deserves to be in last place. You got any comments here, Gage?
Yeah, there's quite a few. Some can be said, some can't be said.
Well,
I got roasted for a minute. I
yep.
wore it. It's okay.
That's kind of how it rolls.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm an easy target. Tim asked why 4 people were ahead of him without championships. You just explained it, so I don't think we need to go through.
Oh my god, this guy is just relentless.
He said Woody's record is total dog.
Hey, we can let it fly a little if you want to. You don't want to censor.
Well, moms are on, so
Yeah, well.
Stuck said flags fly forever. Don't see you with one.
Boom. I'm aware. It comes down to winning 1 game. Did I kind of help carry Steck to that? Maybe. I mean, I told him what to do. We actually traded, and then look what happened. But we're gonna go on. We're gonna work on this year's 2023 awards. All right. First award. There's 2023 awards. Best pickup. They were a good month this year. Last year, we gave to Christian Watson for $350, which was good, but it wasn't really great. This year, your boys didn't have to spend $1 to get some good players. Puka Nacua, $0 by commish, September 6th. I remember I was in the office in Rochester, and I saw Cooper Kupp go on the IR, and I knew that Puka Nacua was a good player. Woody had kind of discovered him. I watched some stuff. I thought, this guy is pretty good. They're talking him up. I said, all right, I'll pick him up. I dropped Devon Achane, who was actually really good too. Picked up Puka Nacua. He's a top 10 wide receiver. Tanked out. Sip after week 2. Picked him up. He was a wide receiver 1 until he broke his leg run blocking just 2 weeks ago. But had a great season.
Oh, it was run blocking?
Yeah, it was a run block at the goal line. It's tough. It's a tough injury to kind of swallow for Sip. You lose his wide receiver 1, then he'd take over Justin Jefferson. He said that he'd rather take Dylan Justin Jefferson.
That's crazy. But actually, it looks kind of good right now.
Well, to be fair, Justin Jefferson has a much more likely chance of playing than the man with the broken leg. So at this point, I would say you'd rather have Justin Jefferson. But we'll just keep going here. We've got Brock Purdy for $0 by Joe. He's been good, compared to the rest. Joe did throw it in. We had a shared note kind of just talking about stuff. He threw that one in. I gave him a bone. I threw it. I said, Joe, you want that? Yeah, you get that one. $0. Go ahead. Trey McBride for $0 by Brandon. I mean, he doesn't have overall numbers because he hasn't had for a long time, but he's been a very good tight end. He's been a borderline top 5 tight end in the last 6 weeks or so. $0 for him on October 18th. I mean, talk about the value there. Now, we did have people that just spent $0 the whole year, so realistically, these moves could have been made. Tim didn't pick up or drop anybody the entire season. Didn't make one trade. His roster was the exact same start to finish, which, honestly, we talk about injury luck, all this. It's a miracle that he was able to just field a team for the entire season. But we go back to the best pickups. $0 pickup. Let's see who the winner is. You got any thoughts or any comments? Winners? You got any thoughts, Gage?
Elwood asked if I've been hanging out with the LGBTQ community. I do some stuff with work with them, so there has been some participation.
That's good. We're allies here.
Yeah.
In this league. Puka Nacua. Some will say it's biased. I think it's just the right answer because he's been a wide receiver 1. I mean, I remember Brandon told me once Cooper comes back, he's not going to be anything. He's just going to be Mr. Mid over there. Don't worry, I don't want him. I said he's going to be at least a wide receiver 2. Guess what? He's been a wide receiver 1. He's been a really good player that played Commanders this week in the playoffs. That's what you want to see in the matchup-wise. And he's just a fun guy to root for. Maybe great catch this past week. Puka Nacua, one of maybe the best name in football. Puka Nacua, best pickup of the year. Now the worst pickup. These were terrible. Quentin Johnson, there's me, $303 by commish. I picked up him and Josh Palmer at the same time. Josh Palmer was good. He just got hurt. Quentin Johnson, terrible. And I knew that was a possibility. I just took the risk. I had a bunch of money. I lost Mike Williams, and we were just in spend-it mode. Zach Evans for Joe. Anybody in the chat say where Zach Evans went? He's a rookie, plays for the Rams. I think I looked. He had 8 yards this season, 16 yards, 8 carries for 16 yards. That was his total this season. That was bad. He didn't end up starting at any point, but it was under consideration. $312.
Ole Miss, Woody.
Thank you, Woody. I knew he would know that. The other one, Leonard Fournette for $317 by Steckel. That one hurts because he doesn't even have a jersey yet. He doesn't even have a real. He hasn't even stepped foot on the football field in a uniform this year. That's just a tough one as well. $317 for a man who just play 0 games in the season is tough. I really went back and forth with this. I actually had one guy there, and I flipped to the other guy. The winner, Leonard Fournette. I mean, the only picture I could get from your season.
Look at those cheeks.
No. I mean, he looks good on the lower half. I'll tell you that.
Can't zoom in anymore.
But when the only picture I could find for your season is you in practice, you have to be the worst pickup. When you spend $317, you spend more than we did on Quentin Johnston and
those
Zach Evans.
hamstrings are unbelievable.
No, I mean, those are some big old legs. But he has not even appeared in a football game yet this season. I'm sorry, Stack. Worst pickup. I'm going there. Next category. What's up?
Stack said, you traded for him, and then people are saying you're crooked and the league should vote on this.
No, for the league vote on it would just be whatever. No. And also, no one else, let me know when you guys create the slideshow, and then we do that, and then we can figure when that happens. And when it never happens, we'll never do this again if we want to go down that route. Here we go, best draft pick, all right? A lot of nominees here. I just threw them all up here, which, to be fair, some guys did do the shared note. That helped us out. But also, it wouldn't be fun if everybody voted and everybody knew what was going to happen already. That's also not really the fun of it. Keenan Allen, 310, 38th overall. I think he was wide receiver 2. Now, I might be taking a hit with Herbert out. But that's a great value to be able to get a guy that late. Wide receiver, T.J. Hawkinson, tight end 1 on the year, 406 overall. I mean, you had Kelsey that went 3rd overall this year, and you get Hawkinson, the actual tight end 1 in the 4th round. That's good value. Raheem Mostert, he's a top 5 back. He scored 16 touchdowns. Something in the 7th round to Tim. Great pick out of Tim. Was able to get him to the playoffs. Oh, actually, he missed the playoffs. But it's a good pick either way. Michael Pittman Jr., another 7th round pick. To Adam, he's been a wide receiver 1, just puts up mid-teens every single week. He's had a couple spikes weeks, but been a great pick. No one wanted him. Thought the offense was going to stink. It has not. Dak Prescott, some people, Sean McCoy would say, Dak is Ass. You know what he's not been? He's been very good this year, and he's been 8th round pick. You look at it, he's been, I don't know, quarterback 2, quarterback 3, especially since the bye. He's really taken off. Sam Laporta, a top 5 tight end as a rookie, 12th round to Ginter. There's just, I can't even fathom how Ginter knew who this person was. I at one point, I've said in our power rankings, I may hire my dad once he retires to go and figure out who Ginter was working with in the draft and how he's able to learn rookies. He had Shamir Gibbs. He doesn't watch this stuff. I mean, he's watching Iowa tight ends. This ain't Woody here. This is Gint. How did he get him over Woody? I don't understand that. Kyron Williams, 15th round. 15th round. We have 16 rounds. 197th overall to Garrick. Ends up being, he's an RB1. Garrick was hyped about him, trade him away. He gets hurt, all this. Or he gets hurt, then he trades him away just so he's good again. That's kind of how Garrick rolls, as we'll give a little foreshadowing for later in the program. The best draft pick. It's Kyron Williams.
Whoa.
15th round. 15th round for a RB1. I mean, you can't really get much better value than that. They were good picks all around, but when we talk about a 15th round pick, I mean, people are taking defense, kickers, players that are just never even going to play or sniff a lineup ever. And we got a guy who's top 10 running back. It's got to be the pick. Any other comments, Gage?
Tim was asking about Elitis. I would like the fireplace touch. Asper commented.
That's a shout out Gage for the fireplace. I am sweating a little bit up here, but I knew.
Oh, there were comments coming for the sweating.
Oh, you think so? I don't think I'm sweating that bad.
No, not you sweating, but like they're like, what he said. John may start on fire.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, when I was putting together the TV up here and I was standing next to the fireplace, it was warm, so I made sure I stayed back. Worst draft pick here. We had a few of these too. Cooper Kupp. 201, 15th overall. I said thank you, Casper, for taking him. He took Chubb in his first pick, Kupp in his second pick. Probably a good reason why he missed the playoffs. Chubb was just unfortunate. Kupp was coming in with an injury, already missing games. He just hasn't been the same. He had a good week this past week, but just a tough pick there at 201. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, A.J. Brown, guys went after. They were just clearly just stuff above CeeDee Lamb. You take Cooper Kupp over them, that hurts. Damian Pierce, 308. Joe did say he was going to tear his ACL. He had a dream before the season that he was going to tear his ACL. To be fair, he didn't. But honestly, that would have been better for Steckel if he did, because he just had to stick around, just hang on to him, and just wait for something to happen with him, and nothing happened. He was terrible. He missed a few games with an ankle injury, but he was bad and just unplayable, and early you knew, yeah, this was a mistake. This was a mistake. Miles Sanders, 410 by Adam. He's been so bad. He's just been terrible. The Panthers are the worst offense in the NFL. He's not even a start anymore. Chuba Hubbard is playing over him. They paid him a good amount of money, so I went, all right, he'll get the volume. Yeah, eventually when you're just that bad, the volume doesn't really matter anymore. So he kind of lost that, and it hasn't been good. Cam Akers, he was bad. He got traded from to the Vikings from the Rams, and then towards Achilles for a second time. Joe just didn't have any running backs. I mean, Joe did have some injuries. It was bad. Delvin Cook, he's cooked. I mean, there was nothing there left. Tim, 82nd overall, 612. I mean, that's so early. You look at the last, slide we had. How many people were 7th round, 8th round, 9th round picks that were great? We're taking Delvin Cook in the 6th. I mean, the guy that's not even on my board. You couldn't even imagine taking Delvin Cook. And there's Tim, because he's stuck in like 2020. Probably thinks that was a sick pick, but he couldn't play. The worst draft pick. Damian Pierce. I was able to look and find a picture of him fumbling the ball just because it looked just like, damn, I just let down Steck's entire season. I mean, to be fair, Steck had other issues, but one of them for sure, Damian Pierce in the third. The fantasy analyst told Steckel all the hours and hours and hours of prep that Ryan did going into the draft, all down the train. Immediately after the draft, he goes, why did I spend so much time doing this? It's over now. As if the season was just done and we had no moves to make. And maybe that was a foreshadowing of what was going to happen. And then he just was bad. He was bad pretty much the whole year. He got lucky, he got some wins early, was able to avoid last, but it was close. It came down where last night guys started getting hurt, where there was a world where he might have come in last. So, Damian Pierce, worst pick.
People want access to the notes, even hashtagging declassify the notes.
I mean, what notes? The notes are literally the slides. The notes are the slides. Like, I can send you, we can share the note, but they are literally this. This is what we wrote, all right? Best/worst trade nominees. I think next year I'm going to change to the most interesting. I didn't know this was going to be just commish roast hour necessarily. Usually there's some more supportive people in the chat. Kyron Williams for Kareem Hunt and Amari Cooper to Garrick, November 11th. Kyron Williams, as we talked, a top 10 running back. Kareem Hunt, absolutely terrible. Amari Cooper, he's the poop man. I mean, he did kind of get a tough break that the quarterback, Deshaun Watson, got hurt, so then he hasn't done anything. But it's just trading for him at any point, you cannot get excited about that, and you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. That we see that was Garrick and Sip. Now we go here. Austin Eckler, Cortland Sutton to Garrick for Alvin Kamara and Deebo Samuel. We'll see a theme here. Garrick just gives up on the players right before they're about to be good. You watch Kyron Williams be hurt, decides, all right, I got to trade him now. Then he's back and he's good. Austin Eckler, Cortland Sutton. Cortland Sutton's been okay. Austin Eckler is moving 13 miles an hour. It looks like he's 50 years old running down there. Alvin Kamara, he hasn't been great from an actual football standpoint, but a fantasy is because he's just getting 1,000 targets with Derek Carr because he's terrified to throw the ball down the field. Deebo Samuel's had 35 back-to-back weeks. He's back. He's kind of helped Adam get some extra juice in the flex spot, especially with the injuries he's dealing with. And then me, Derek Carr, Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley for Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jahan Dotson. Justin Jefferson was hurt, so he traded him right before he came back. Now, to be fair, he did miss another 3 weeks, and Garrett did need to get a win, so that did make some sense. But Calvin Ridley was coming off his worst game, one of his worst games of the year. Since it's been much better. Derek Carr is just bad, so that really was an irrelevant piece. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahan Dotson, I don't even know if he's playing or what he's up to if he's healthy. Amon-Ra's been pretty good. The last couple weeks he's actually been kind of down, but he still is a stud. Those are your 3 trades that we're looking at.
Oh.
Kyron Williams for Amari Cooper.
That's going to get some reaction.
For Kareem Hunt and the Poop Man. I did actually Google Amari Cooper Brown sad. And this was the first image that came up. And I'll be honest, it was a very good description because he looks sad as hell right here.
He also looks poopy.
Well, he's playing for the Browns. I mean, Amari Cooper on the Browns, there's absolutely no way that you can sit there and be like, I feel good about that guy on my team. I did actually find one of him sad in the rain, but it wouldn't let me copy it in. It was kind of disappointing. But this picture does suffice. Looks like there may be some precipitation there, and he's upset because he got traded from SIP to Garrick to just sit away and miss the playoffs, and Kyron's excited. Any further comments?
Comments are hotter than the fireplace right now. We have evolved to hashtag Notesgate. And
Again,
2 exclamation points of give context, exclamation point.
I don't understand what context you're looking for. We're looking at bad beat of the year. I'm just going to have to keep moving on with the program because if I just get bogged down by the peanut gallery providing comments, Tim, welcome to the league this year. Welcome to 2023. It's good to see you just watch the playoffs. Bad beat of the year. You're going to see a theme here too. Joe defeats Woody, 103.26 to 101.7 in Week 7. Jordan Addison, who Woody drafted, the guy went to. Chad will get that in a minute. It's a little delayed. He traded 2 weeks prior to that, put up 31.3 points on Monday Night Football. He had a play where there was like kind of pick. It should have been a pick up the seam. He ends up ripping the ball away from the guy running the end zone wide open, or free to get in a touchdown. He actually left the game due to an injury for a little bit. Joe started Elijah Mitchell for the 49ers. He actually had negative .1. So Jordan Addison had to do not only it all himself, but actually a little bit extra. Addison, the rest of the year, only scored 20. He scored like 21 one time. It didn't touch it since. 31.3 points that day. Beats Woody. And then we go to the next week. Gage defeats Woody. 116.68 to 116.46. Woody needed 6.4 points from Roshan Johnson, who he actually traded Jordan Addison for. On Sunday Night Football, he gets 6.1. Tyson Bagent, they're on the last drive trying to score. They kneel at the end. Trying to score. He's got Roshan, just a little dump off over his head. Adam and I were sitting here on the couch. We said, oh my goodness, that was it. That was it. That changed the game right there. Would have gave Woody a win. Instead, he goes back-to-back bad beat losses. Took a week off. And then week 10, Sip defeats Woody 118.06 to 117.98. 0.08 difference. Week 10, I had a freaking paragraph to write here. Josh had a pick early in the game, go through Gabe Davis's hands. Shocker. I'm not sure how many catches I had that game. He might have had 2 or just one of his 0-for-0 games. And then the last offensive drive for the Bills, Josh is going play action, rolling out. Dalton Kincaid's kind of leaking out there. He's not wide open, but there's probably a lane they could throw it to him. He gives him the little pumpy pump right there and then just runs it in, gives him the ball. So then Woody is down 0.08, where if he threw the touchdown, Woody would have won because he got a double touchdown. Then they go on, as we know, in the Denver game, 12 men on the field. We lose that game. It's a disaster. The OC's fired. And then, as we say, we lead to a Woody silence for longer than I've ever seen. It was legitimately concerning. I actually had to check on him. I was like, are you good? Like, are you alive? Because, like, I had not gone multiple days during the football season not hearing from him. And he was in a bad, bad place. Now we look at it in a better place. But bad beat of the year. I asked some people. I got a bunch of different responses. This one I did just end up going with this, honestly, because I had the picture prepared and it was there, and I thought they were all kind of close. Jordan Addison. Woody losing to Joe, 103.26 to 101.7. I mean, look at this picture. He's literally, the ball was picked off and he stole it for a touchdown. You know, when you get those kind of plays, a guy gets hurt and then he comes back. It's a Monday night 31-point performance that he doesn't sniff the rest of the year. I mean, that to me is just what a bad beat is. There's no reason that you should lose that kind of game and you do. What does the chat have to say about that? Are we just throwing anything, or is that
Woody said horrible choice, and Elwood was wondering what you had against Woody. Like, you got something against him?
Well, it wasn't one against Woody. I mean, to be fair, it was the rest of the league against Woody because they just kept beating him by very minuscule points in kind of miraculous ways. I mean, Woody will sit there, and I mean, you know, he'll kind of get in the ambulance a little bit and just go on about how, oh, my point's 4, my point's against, oh, this and that. It's the game, man. Sometimes you gotta just be better. You didn't come in last. That's good.
Stack did mention earlier he's going to leave the league, but I think that was just exaggerative.
GM of the year. This is a prestigious award. I do remember there's a post in the group chat from Garrick from last season. He said, on his goals for 2023, win GM of the year of the Griffs League. I hate to break it to you, Zach. You are not winning. You are not even a nominee. It was something. We enjoyed having you here for the draft. It was good. It was great to see you. GM of the year is not in your cards. Let's look at the nominees, though. Chris, 23-5 record, regular season champ. His previous best finish, 7th place, and he's made the playoffs one time, and he got blown out in the playoffs that year, like 3 years ago, 2019, I think it was. I mean, the man hasn't sniffed the playoffs. He's 6-7 every year, 5-8, 7-6, and then, you know, the bonus win, whatever. All lives around 500, and then bang, 23-5 record. I mean, an incredible year for Chris. Proved a lot of the haters wrong. Now the haters are saying, they go, can you do it in the playoffs? Because it's a different animal in the playoffs. He's never won a playoff game. The fans are wondering, are they going to be able to do it? We'll find out in the next couple weeks. Adam, 21-7 record. He only made 2 trades. 2 trades. And those were like right near the deadline. That was as stunning as a thing we've ever seen in the league. He was able to get, as we talked earlier, the Alvin Kamara and Deebo Samuel trade for Austin Eckler and Courtland Sutton. He was able to do that. He took Tyreek at 105, and it was like, oh, McCaffrey's on the board. There's a bunch of wide receivers. Tyreek was the answer. He was basically, you know, arguably the fantasy MVP. He's obviously banged up now, but he's been basically 25 minimum points a game every week, and it's led Adam to just kind of be a comfortable, good team the whole year. Sip, 21-7 record. He's inexplicably got McCaffrey at 106. That's because we took Kelsey at 103, Josh at 104. Josh, as in Josh Allen, at 104. Again, reasons why we can complain about Woody, bad beat, blah, 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 blah. Look, we take Josh Allen at 104. We know what we get ourselves into. Paired him with Jalen Hurts. Picked up Tank Dell, has Kyron Williams. Right now, those McCaffrey, Jalen Hurts, Kyron Williams are projected legitimately at, I think, like 80 points this week. It's leading the Sips projection. So it's basically just a 3-man team they got going there and hoping the other guys pick up the slack. But shout out to him. 21-7 record. Nothing to sniff at. Cole is our 4th nominee for GM of the year. I know you might say he's not in the league, but he's up for GM of the year. He guided that team to a 17-7 record. 0 trades, but he did force Gage to take A.J. Brown over Chris Olave despite pushback from his head coach, which is Gage. He took tight end Hawkinson in the 4th, Mike Evans in the 9th, or wide receiver 9 Mike in the 5th round. The only pick that Gage made, Rondell Moore, is just absolutely booing on the waiver wire. No one's sniffing him. So, I mean, we look. Cole did a great job. He prevented him from selling Bijan for nothing and being able to panic trades, this and that. Jordan Love's on the team. I'm not really sure why that really mattered. If you put up an 8-point performance, you're not going to play him in the playoffs. You're going to play Lamar. But either way, they decided to go with the conservative strategy.
Commissioner's mad about that one.
No. Conservative strategy. No trades, 17-7 record. They, you know, maneuvered the rocky times, but they were able to get to the playoffs 17-7. And the GM of the year, Chris Conley. Giving you the thumbs up. I mean, the milkman himself, like you said, 23-5 record, regular season champ. When you previously come in 7th place and then you come out of nowhere and give a first place performance on a draft that everybody hated and gave you, a bunch of crap. Now, I will say, there should be an assistant GM of the year. It should be me. Because there was a trade earlier in the season he offered me. It was Christian Watson, Josh Palmer, Saquon Barkley for Keenan Allen and Joe Mixon. All right? If he had accepted that, he offered that to me, I told him, Chris, I can't do it. All right? So I didn't do it. I know there's got to be something ridiculous in the comments because I see Cage crying, laughing behind the screen. But that trade goes down. Completely different season. Chris staying here 23-5. I'm probably GM of the year, whatever. But it's all right. It's a good guy out of me. What's the comments say here? Producer can't
I'm sorry.
together. I also don't see.
Oh, I know. Elwood goes.
I still can't do anything because.
He said, "Look at those C cups." Tim said that pig is explosive.
The producer can't keep it together. And now, once we get the producer back on the rails, the camera's bouncing. People are gonna get seasick watching this broadcast right now.
Hey, Tim said, "Good God, I thought this was a PG feed." Sorry, we're good.
It's wheel time. All right, how many viewers we got right now?
13.
It's pretty good. That's almost the whole league right there. Not that everybody in the league's actually watching, but we at least have good numbers. I will say.
Fuck.
I will say, for the viewers at home, we did a lot of work. By we, I mean me. Did a lot of work on the wheel to make sure that it would actually have a good chance of hitting all the things because the way the wheel is, we've had to balance it out to make sure everything can hit. If I had to tighten the screws a little bit, the way the spin's going to go is going to be much different than the way the spin has gone in previous years, okay? Before we had it, and it was wobbling, and it's slow, and it'll be a very, very slow build to get to where it actually should go. This one is going to be much quicker. I'll spin it hard, and it's going to go, but when it comes to a stop, it's going to come to a stop. And there's not going to be as much drama with it. But it's the only way I could really guarantee that we were going to be able to make sure that all the things are on board to be able to actually hit, because sometimes it wouldn't hit it. Gage can attest. No one will believe me. It doesn't matter. I know what it actually is. Do we have any comments before we spin the wheel and figure out Elwood's fate?
I would ask if he could be in the live video.
No, because once we do that, then we can't save the video. So I'm sorry. It would be nice, but if we did that, then this video's gone forever.
He also said, "Good set of udders on that cow." He was referring to Chris.
I figured that was the case. The milkman made sense. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready for the wheel spin? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
All right. Without further ado, it's time, all right? Here we go. It's going to be quick. It's stopping soon. That is caddy. That is caddy. If you see that there, it did not get all the way to the flight. That is caddy. Elwood's going to have to caddy for the league winner. At some point, ideally it'd be draft day. We'll come down, and if the winner doesn't want to golf, well, second place, whatever, we'll have to figure it out. Elwood's going to have to get full caddy outfit. You're going to have to come in. You're going to have to walk the course, give me every read, clean the clubs. I'm saying me. Maybe I win. Whoever it is, you're going to have to be carrying clubs, cleaning them, giving reads, the whole 9 yards, packing food, drink, whatever.
People are questioning what just happened.
To be fair, I did explicitly warn what was going to happen, that it was going to be much quicker this year because that's the only way we were going to guarantee what was going to happen.
Everybody said they saw flight.
I mean, you can literally look at it. It's stuck there. If it went to flight, it would do this. It would be on the thing. I spun this wheel so many times. I know how this works, all right?
All right, we're advancing to hashtag Wheelgate now.
And also, what do I care?
People are calling for respins.
What do I care which punishment it is? Why would I, there's nothing to fix. There's no, angle for me to do anything. This is what it is, all right? Caddy was what the wheel was at, and that's the end of the story. This was the wheel punishment. Elwood will have to carry it out. We will get video of it when it occurs and all that. We will have content as we get move through the playoffs. We figure out who will have the belt, who will be the league champ. I know the comments are still flowing in, but at some point we're going to have to just wrap it up. Say thank you to everybody for tuning in, even though, to be honest, most of you just probably chirped me the entire time and just said ridiculous comments. But I still appreciate the views. I appreciate the support and the interaction in the chats. Thanks for Gage for producing. And if there's any more comments, Gage, any more comments? No?
I would ask if we could bring the cow back out.
It's going to be tough for me to get there. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it, but... Oh, I was able to do it. I was able to figure it out.
There's
All
our
right.
boy.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll keep you updated throughout the playoffs. Appreciate it.